Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andy Williams, and I'm Executive Director of Visit Roswell, which is the City of Roswell's Convention and Visitors Bureau. Our organization is charged with promoting all things tourism throughout the City of Roswell, and that includes all of our hotels, our restaurants, our special event venues, many of our partners, such as the Roswell Arts Fund, and really anything that brings tourism into the Roswell area. Galleries, boutique shopping, retailers, anything tourism related. So it's a pleasure to be with you all, whether this is morning or afternoon. And I am going to be presenting on the Film Roswell Initiative that Mayor Lori Henry has really spearheaded and established out of that the Mayor's Movie Task Force. And so the purpose of this presentation is really for us to walk you through how you as a homeowner can benefit, but also how your neighborhood and your HOA can benefit from the film business and the film industry when we go after those types of opportunities to bring film productions into the City of Roswell. Throughout this presentation, again, you will hear from myself. I serve as Executive Director of Visit Roswell. You'll also hear from Chris Ward, who is the City of Roswell Special Events Manager. She permits a lot of different areas having to do with film, and also coordinates directly with the Roswell Police Department, the Roswell Fire Department for a number of things that she's going to mention later. And then you're going to also hear from Ted Basco, who's our group sales manager here at Visit Roswell, and he also is very involved in filming and working with location scouts and being a big part of the process to lure those opportunities into the city. But right off the bat, what I want to do is I want to talk about the benefits to you for film. And the number one benefit I would say is that it can be a revenue generator for you. And not just you as a homeowner, but also the different service providers and the different assets that are available throughout the city and city-owned assets through the City of Roswell. So the City of Roswell's viewpoint is that we can support local homeowners, businesses, and service providers, people like caterers, restaurants that handle the wrap parties when a film production completes, carpenters, makeup stylists, hairstylists, a number of those different businesses that are really ingrained in the film industry. Second, there's great exposure for city-operated assets such as our parks and facilities. Many of these productions are looking for green space. They're looking for playgrounds, parks, fields, historic homes, places like the Old Mill Machine Shop, and a number of those different types of areas that the city manages. So it's a benefit to them as well. Third, great exposure for Roswell as a destination. Of course, whether we're featured in a commercial or on the big screen for a larger production, having our community out there and in front of such a large audience just is great PR and marketing for us as a destination. As I mentioned earlier, it's a great revenue generator for local homeowners, businesses, and service providers. So where you come in is, if you decide that you want to be film friendly and be a part of this process, you will make money. You will be able to go in and negotiate with the production companies, whether it's for a half day shoot or something as long as a 3-week shoot. It really kind of runs the gamut. So there's a huge opportunity to have your home not only featured in a cool film, but to make some money out of it. So that is certainly a big opportunity for you on that end. But then specifically speaking to any of your HOAs or your board of directors or neighborhood organizations, this is also an opportunity for those to be featured with a number of different tools that we have to offer. So if an HOA has green space, playgrounds, clubhouses, community facilities, it's a great way to get those out in front of these location scouts so that they could potentially be utilized in the future for future films. And for us at Visit Roswell, it lets us know what you have in inventory so that when location scouts come into town, we are able to immediately know what we have available and contact you, whether you're a homeowner or an HOA board member, directly so that we can get those folks into those facilities or onto that property to take a look at those assets that are available and see if there's a potential opportunity moving forward. So the background of the task force, as I mentioned, is that it's really a cohesive effort among a number of different organizations and entities throughout the city that Mayor Lori Henry has really spearheaded. And what we addressed initially is that we really wanted to kind of tackle five different things: perception, resources, ease of the process, opportunities, and recruitment of actual film opportunities. Perception, we just wanted to do everything in our power to become film friendly, to let location scouts and production companies know that we are ready for film. Resources, having as much information and data available as having as many homes and businesses and film locations in our inventory to access for film production companies. Ease of process, making things move as quickly and smoothly as possible, whether it's through the site selection process that we spearhead at Visit Roswell, all the way up to the permitting process with the city of Roswell through film date. Opportunities, being aggressive and going after opportunities to drive more film into the community. And then recruitment. Once we'd gotten all these four things nailed down, really being able to go out and sell ourselves as being film friendly, and being able to really go after a lot of those lead generational opportunities that we could hopefully convert into landed film productions. So how Georgia made it easy. When did all this really start to happen? It happened around the year 2009. Um, and there was legislation that really was put into place that essentially enacted these film tax credits that made it very appealing for production companies to do business in Georgia. The Georgia Department of Economic Development certifies projects that meet the qualifications for the film tax incentive, and the Georgia Department of Revenue oversees the earning and claiming of those credits. Highlights of the programs and the reason it's made so appealing is because 20% base transferable tax credit with an additional 10% Georgia entertainment promotion uplift that can be earned. And what that means is you initially, if you go through the program the right way, you're able to get 20% transferable tax credits, but then the additional 10% can be gained. For example, if you use the Georgia Department of Economic Development's film division's logo in the credits, or specific product placements, specific mentions that sell Georgia throughout the actual production. Both resident and non-resident workers' payrolls qualify. Production expenditures must be made in Georgia from a Georgia vendor to qualify, which means we're keeping business here in the Peach State. There are no limits or caps on Georgia spend, and no salary cap on individuals paid by 1099. And then post-production, things like editing and scoring the production, those projects qualify if that post-production is done in Georgia as well. So it's very appealing from that end. The health of Georgia's film industry. And many of you probably know, we are doing really well with film. Georgia is the #1 filming location in the world. We have surpassed LA and New York. We provide and support jobs for actors, producers, designers, directors, and then caterers, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, hairstylists, makeup artists, and on and on. A lot of people just think it's the production companies that are, making the money and then their employees, but really it goes far beyond that. And we have a special interest in that because utilization of our local service providers is a very good thing. And when these production companies come into town, we certainly want them to seek out those service providers and use them for any services too. The Georgia Film Academy is actually established to educate film professionals. So whether you're an entry-level film professional, you're really kind of trying to break into it, that is a good opportunity for education, but also someone who is more seasoned that's looking to kind of move their way on up. Continuing education in that regard will help them to achieve that success. And then, of course, when you actually look at the state of Georgia itself, based on our cities, our geography, our parks, lakes, population, and the talent that we have, and really that diverse mix of everything, the state offers everything that a producer could want. And as we continue to see the industry continues to grow, it's essentially recession proof. People always need entertainment. Whether it's on the big screen or it's on Netflix and streaming services, as we've seen now lately, coming out of COVID. Um, there's always going to be the individuals that seek out that quality entertainment as an escape. And by the numbers, $9.5 billion. That was the total economic impact on Georgia, according to the Department of Economic Development's statistics. $800 million is the amount that was handed out in tax credits to production companies as of fiscal year 2017. Currently, we only rank second behind the UK, which hands out about 820 million. And 4.6 billion, that is the total amount in wages that Georgia paid out. And that's according to the Motion Picture Association of America. So obviously it's a big economic driver and greatly important. And then by the numbers, again, 92,100 is the number of jobs in Georgia that the television industry is responsible for. 300 is the number of new businesses that have either relocated or expanded in Georgia to support the industry just since 2010, so in the past decade. And then 105 as of last spring, that was the number of TV productions in some form that were in existence. And we think that's a pretty good number at any given time throughout the state of Georgia. You've got anywhere from, call it 90 to 110, 120 productions going on at any given time. So it's big business, and certainly think that it's here to stay. So as a part of this program, and what makes this really work well, is that it's a collaboration and certainly a partnership between these three organizations. We are Visit Roswell, so we're the tourism promoter, the official destination marketing organization for the city of Roswell. We partner directly with the city of Roswell and their staff, Recreation and Parks, Special Events Division, and a number of other key staff members in order to really have this fire off on all cylinders. And then the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, which represents the 6 North Fulton communities throughout our area. Mark Goodman is actually what is known as the film liaison. And I'm going to get into his role here in just a second, but he is a critical component to having this work well for us. So I'll talk about each partner's roles and responsibilities. And this is good for you to know as homeowners, because you're gonna be hearing from at the very least one of our organizations, and if everything works like it's supposed to, you'll probably be touching 3 different organizations throughout the process as well. So as I mentioned, the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce is our film ready, camera ready liaison, and Mark's role is that he receives film leads directly from location scouts. So when a scout has a production they're working on and they're looking for specific home, a specific park space, a waterfall, anything that really they've got on their list to go out and find, they're going to funnel that lead directly to Mark. And what Mark's going to do is he's going to turn it around and he's going to look to the different communities that he represents, and he's going to send that lead to all of us. He's going to communicate with the location scouts throughout the site selection process. He's going to work with the area CVBs and the film offices. And then he's even going to come into town and participate in the site visit if necessary. So think of him as kind of like that first contact. He's going to take the lead, and then he's going to disseminate the information appropriately. Where we come in as Visit Roswell is we are the key contact for any Roswell-specific film leads. We are the ones who manage and market the Real Scout system specific to Roswell, the 30075 and 30076 zip codes. We market our Film Roswell campaign to Atlanta-based location scouts. We really try to develop those relationships and keep those folks on our radar so that they come back for either new or repeat business. We manage the search for both film and base camp locations. Base camp is really the hub of the film production. It's where all the trailers are, the power sources, the catering, the staging, where the talent comes. You normally see that in big parking lots or pastures, areas where the production companies and crews can really spread out and kind of take over. We coordinate and execute the site visits throughout the selection process. So if a location scout, for example, is looking for a specific style home in a certain style neighborhood, what we do is we locate that house that we think would be a good fit, and then we bring them in the market and actually take them around town and show them the specific properties that we've sought out. And then from there, if it works out and they fall in love with what we've shown them, we guide the negotiation conversations with the actual production companies and the property and landowners. So that is really kind of where we actually step out. Once we get it to that kind of area of the process, we let the homeowner and the production company have those conversations and try to get to a common area as far as price point is concerned. And then we really turn it over to the city of Roswell to handle any potential permitting needs, things of that nature. And then we, of course, when the production is complete, our responsibility is to go back and follow up with their accounting teams to track the actual dollar amount spent within the city. Because what we want to do is communicate to everyone that this is a driver for the economy and that it's bringing in dollars for the community. What I'd like to do right now is introduce Chris Ward. Chris Ward, as I mentioned earlier, is our liaison with the city of Roswell and is involved in a number of different things once we get to the point of actually executing the film production within the city of Roswell. Chris, I'll let you take it away right now.
Thank you. I wanted to just take a minute to let you know kind of what the city's part is with respect to the productions that come to Roswell. So once the production company has decided on a site, we begin the process of permitting the film. We use an online system called Apply For that helps us expedite and manage the permitting process. Through this process, we ensure that all rules and regulations are followed and all insurance and safety measures are in place prior to the shoot. We work with our police and transportation departments on lane closures or street closures and provide police presence when we deem that necessary. We also communicate to our local businesses and residents about the production to make sure, to make them aware of any impacts that may occur during the filming. Finally, we always ensure that communication and expectations between the city and the production companies are in sync. So if you ever have any kind of questions about a production that's going on or police presence or road closures, you can always reach out to myself at the city. My email is cward@roswellgov.com, and I'm happy to help out in any way I can.
Great, thanks, Chris.
Sure.
And when a production comes into town, depending on where it is in the process, we do communicate very regularly with Chris and her team over there. So we are constantly in sync with them. It's very much a cohesive movement. And our goal really is to eliminate any ambiguity and to make this as easy as possible for both the location scout and the actual property owners and business owners that are on the list that we're taking a look at. So how do we land a film production? This is a very important slide. Continued growth in inventory. So what we need you to do as homeowners, if you are open to having a production company come into your home to film, we need you to get that listing uploaded. And we are going to show you how to do that a little later on in the presentation. But growth in inventory, having the amount of resources available in the city, having it be broad, having it be diverse, and constantly growing. Rapid response. This is an area where the three different organizations I mentioned earlier, Visit Roswell, the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, and the City of Roswell really play a vital role. It's quick response. A lot of times these location scouts, they operate on a very short turnaround and need answers quickly. So for example, a scout could call our office and say, hey, find me a home in the middle of 2 acres with no trees around, and I need a turnaround driveway in front of it. Line me up options as quickly as you can. We'd like to come into town in the next 2 days. So what we have to do is really pool all of our different resources together, utilize Real Scout, and then really just get out there and even go canvass the community to try to find that location. And if we are able to have that particular request in our inventory, that's when we set up the site selection and move forward with the process. Resourcefulness and aggressiveness, being able to get answers quickly and giving location scouts quick access to information and really just bending over backwards to make sure they've got everything they need. buttoned up site visits and tours, being able to showcase the community and specific neighborhoods and areas of town based on the need of the production company. Expedited permitting processes. This is a big one because, as mentioned, the quick window and really just making things as simple as possible goes a long way with being film friendly. So our role is really to make sure the production companies go through this process quickly and that we're able to get them what they need as fast as possible. And then one of the most critical ones is advocating ourselves as being film friendly to film. What at the end of the day, we want location scouts to continue to look to Roswell, even if they've actually brought a production to town already. What we want to happen is have them know us by names, be able to call us and say, hey, we're looking for this style architecture, this style outdoor living space, and so on, and continue bringing them back. And word of mouth goes a long way in this industry. And we certainly want to be viewed as a community and a destination that has its act together to be able to turn these leads into production opportunities. And real quick, I'll go over some common reasons that we lose opportunities. And this may come to as no surprise, but we do track reasons for losses and then reasons for wins. But most of the common reasons that we keep up with and track, really it's boiled down to 5 different things where we see trends and themes. The production company either decided to build on set within their film studio. As you know, the greater Atlanta area has a number of different film studios with sound stages. And if they don't find exactly what they need in the community, they can simply go into a studio and build it. Oftentimes, it's much easier to find something they need in the community because they don't have to go in and do a ton of carpentry work and logistically, create the set. They prefer to just have that exist in a community and deal directly with the homeowner or the business owner. The landscape or the terrain wasn't quite right, so they found the perfect house, but it had a hilly front yard and it wasn't flat enough. Things of that nature. The business owner or property owner declined interest. So, we've gotten it to the stage where it's time to negotiate. And then just based on what the production company wanted, really didn't align with what the homeowner had in mind. And so they declined the opportunity. And that's one thing I will say is that production companies, there needs to be some level of flexibility. They oftentimes will try to communicate as best as possible what they need and expectations and what they're going to do when they come into a home, what it's going to look like when they leave. But with most anything, in business, there needs to be some level of flexibility based on things changing day of or even minute by minute. Roswell didn't have the needed asset or inventory. In some cases, we'll get calls where the production company needs something very niche or very specific, and we simply just don't have it. So they'll have to go into another community or build it out into in a sound studio or sound stage. And then the physical space didn't align with the need. It was either too small or too cramped. We had the asset, but it just didn't work quite well enough for what they needed. So obviously we keep up with that information. We do the best we can to win these opportunities, but sometimes, it just doesn't align perfectly, and that's okay. We just kind of continue to push. So what we need to do right now is walk you through what it's like to actually add your listing on Real Scout. And Real Scout, as I mentioned, is the platform that we use. Think of it as like a photo gallery of your home. Gives you an opportunity to have a description, gives you an opportunity to upload photos of your home, your outdoor living spaces, your rooms, the exterior. It's almost a teaser for a location scout. So location scouts will go in, they'll take a look, see if they've got, what they're looking to check off. And if they find it on Real Scout, they find your listing, the next step's going to be they're going to want to come into town and see it. And at this point, what I want to do is I'm going to share my screen and go into the website. And Ted Basco, who is our group sales manager, is going to walk you through that process.
Thank you very much, Andy. And the presentation that you've seen and everything that Andy talked about is really some fun stuff here. Having film in Roswell and the interest of bringing more production to our community, to bring a stronger economy to our footprint, as well as more activity for you as homeowners on how you could benefit from all this. So on our website, visit roswellga.com. If you haven't visited, this is our main page where we talk about everything that we do as a destination marketing organization. As you can see here on the top right-hand corner, there is a film icon where you could click on, and that takes you to our solely dedicated webpage for film in Roswell. This tells you all about, on a high level, that we're a film-friendly community, that Visit Roswell's film consulting services include location finding, vendor service referrals, directions for permitting directly with the city of Roswell and such. So our ultimate goal here is to really dial in and connect directly, virtually and technology-wise, to our location scouts so they know what we have to offer. And right by this owl icon is a listing of Real Scout locations all throughout Roswell. And Real Scout is actually a platform that provides industry professionals a comprehensive library of film-friendly locations. However, if you go through our website, this drills down to just Roswell, Georgia. So as Andy was saying, 30075 and 30076. We currently have 113 locations listed, and it's populated and categorized in different categories. And as you can see here on the left-hand side, we have listings anywhere from the agriculture categories to bars, cemeteries, commercial buildings, etc., so forth. What I'm going to do for the purpose of this presentation is go to the resident types and show you a list of private homes that are film-friendly locations. And of the 113 locations that we have listed, 63 of them currently are homes. And you see on this screen, they are homes from your single-family home to a little bit more of the less desirable boarded-up homes in certain parks, and then also the high-end homes and mansions that you'll find in Roswell. So for the purposes of this example, I want to show you the McPherson Mansion, for example. The McPherson Mansion, located in Roswell, was actually featured in a 2016 HGTV reality show called $1 Million Rooms. And they filmed in here where, as you can see, each location drills down specifically to areas of the property in which the private homeowner will allow for filming. So as I scroll through these photos, you can see that this homeowner is allowing for filming both inside and outside of the property. Obviously, this homeowner has a lot of areas in terms of bedrooms, private foyers, even garden areas and whatnot. But this gives you truly an example of what you can do for your property in terms of listing your property as a film-friendly location. So I want to tell you how you could benefit from all this. You could benefit from all this by considering listing your property as a film-friendly location. And to do that, scroll down even further on our website, and here you could see a link that says how to list your property. This will take you to Explore Georgia's economic development website and Explore Georgia's page where you could upload your photos and list yourself as a film-friendly home. The main page gives you some bullet points of some high-level information and some guidelines to follow. As in addition to that, it'll also tell you a little bit more about the photos that they expect you to upload. And then you have an area where there's a photo submission form. where you could literally click, and it's a simple process. It probably takes anywhere of 10 minutes or less to actually put in your information and upload your photos onto that website. So for example, the location name, if I wanted to list my house, and again, you could give it whatever you want, but for the purposes of this example, I'll go ahead and type in Basco Roswell House. And then here you could type in your information as well as your address, your city, which will be Roswell, Georgia, and so on and so forth. Here in this area for location description, I would recommend that you could put in a little bit more detailed information about certain areas of your home that you will allow for or not allow for filming. And then at the very end, gives you an opportunity to upload up to 20 photos. And again, it's recommended to upload low resolution photos as opposed to high resolution photos. You're given an opportunity to post up to 20 photos of your location. So this gives the location scout an opportunity to actually take a virtual tour of your property prior to actually heading out to your property for a visit. In terms of photography, we do have some resources that can help you with taking specific photos of your property. But if you would like to try to do it yourself, it is recommended to do a landscape photo of and making sure that you take depth, width, and height photos of your property. You could always come to this website, to our website on visitroswellga.com for examples of certain photos that are already uploaded. And really, at the end of the day, our goal would be to connect you with the location scouts, so you could have that really one-on-one dialogue and conversation about availability and pricing, so you both could be on the same page in terms of what they're looking for and what you're allowing for, and vice versa. And then come to a point where if the location scout is really interested in wanting to come visit the property, we as the liaison at Visit Roswell will help coordinate site inspections for the location scouts and producers to come take a look at your property. And that's pretty much it in a lump sum. That is our services with Visit Roswell GA and our website. And Andy, back to you.
So we can be reached really at any time. And our ask of you really is that once you have your listing uploaded and you're all set in the system, is that you just keep us in the loop. Ideally what's going to happen is the location scout's going to take a look at your photos of your homes or your businesses, and they're going to come to us, and we're really going to initiate the process and get all the partners involved. In some cases, you might have a location scout that gets out on the weekend and starts scouting by themselves without having communicated to us. And that's fine. That does happen, specifically throughout the weekends. And we don't have any issue with that necessarily. We really like to be looped into the communication so that we're able to track everything. And really, it gives us an opportunity to try to work with the location scouts on other potential sites that they may not have considered throughout the community. So it's a way for us to get more of the production into town. And if that ever happens, we just ask that you reach out to either Ted or myself, and we will take it from there. So I'll leave really just with putting up our contact information. Ted Basco again, Visit Roswell's Group Sales Manager and Film Liaison, can be reached at tbasco@visitroswellga.com. And then myself, Andy Williams, I can be reached at awilliams@visitroswellga.com. You can call our office at 770-640-3253, or Ted can be reached on his cell. He's usually out and about in the community and working film leads, just about sometimes multiple several times throughout the week. His number is 770-324-7590. And again, our website, visitroswellga.com. Click on the film icon. That will take you into all the different resources available. But as always, we are an open door, an open book, and we're happy to help answer any questions with regard to film productions. One thing I will say is that we've been doing a pretty good job lately of landing a lot of commercials. Roswell seems to be a community that does really well with regard to commercials. But we have worked some large scale film production leads, and our ultimate goal is to get some of those multi-day shoots and productions that really land on the big screen. So thank you again for your time. We're available whenever you need us, and visit roswellga.com for more information. Thank you.